Hi, this is Dave with FrontEndAudio.com. I'm here to talk to you today about the dbx 166XL Compressor Limiter Gate. It's a great piece of gear for use in live sound, stage applications, or in the studio. I've used this device a number of times with great success, and either patching it into the console at the front of house or even playing bass through it, using it as a compressor in my bass rig. Performed great for that. And in the studio, used it for a number of different tracks to record, and it just did an outstanding job there. Want to run down some of the features on the unit and just talk about a few of the key things. Starting from one end here, basically it is a two-channel unit, and you have the ability to couple both channels together for stereo operation, and there's a single control in the center to press for coupling, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But starting from one end to the other, basically you have the gate section at one end with the variable threshold and release controls here. You also have a switch here below that to enable the side chain, and you can set up with a side chain insert cable in the back for the unit to be frequency dependent gating, and the side chain is also usable for frequency weighted compression as well. So you can basically set the unit up for taming an out of control kick drum, or even as a de-esser for vocals. So a number of different applications you can use this unit for. And going down the line, the next switch is a contour switch, which when pressed in, it will engage the contour control, which basically rolls out a good bit of the low frequencies so that the compressor is not keying off of low frequency information, and does a better job of compressing the overall mix. And best used when you are running a complete mix through the unit. And going on down the line, you've got controls for the compression. You've got threshold, ratio, attack, and release. And one of the great things that dbx includes in this unit is an automatic feature here. And when this is engaged, the unit is automatically controlling the attack and release times. And the algorithms that they have set up in this unit are pretty incredible. And for you to try to dial in manually the best setting may take more time and more effort than just pressing the automatic button. And it works just perfectly well in most situations. So that would almost want to be used every time. Another button here we've got is for either OverEasy or hard knee mode, and basically that's self-explanatory. Two different types of compression, and dbx is widely known for their hard knee settings, and you can try that and see which works best for your application. Going on down the line, towards the end, you've got the output control to make up gain for gain reduction that the compressor is doing for you. The last control here, the variable control for PeakStop limiter. So you have the ability to set a limiter for the device. After the signal has gone through the compressor, you can then set the limiter to catch any stray signal, any dynamics that go beyond the settings you have for the compressor. Up top, you've got the metering, which is really great. It's really easy to read at a glance. On the gate section, you've got just showing above and below lights, which allow you to tune the gate really easily. The release time on the gate is very natural. It sounds very smooth, so it does work very well. For the compressor, you have 3-stage lighting here for below, mid, and above, and lighting here for gain reduction. Okay. You also, for the PeakStop, you have a light that indicates above the threshold you set for the PeakStop limiter. The button I've already addressed earlier was the couple switch here that allows you to couple both channels, where you would operate in stereo mode using the controls on channel 1 would activate both channels for that. On this end of the unit, on the back, you have the connection for the power cord, and over to this side you've got input and output connections for each channel. There are balance connections for both inputs and outputs provided for 1/4 inch TRS and also XLR connections. And in the center of that you've got a operating level control for -10 or +4. Whether you're using consumer or semi-pro level gear, you would put it into -10 position for that. If you're using pro level gear, you would have it in +4 mode. And down towards this side, you've got a side chain insert connection here, which basically allows you to tap into an equalizer, for instance, for frequency weighted compression or gating. You'd be able to use a tip ring sleeve send and return cable with a single 1/4 inch connection here going to a send on one end of the connector and return from the device on the other. I'd like to talk a little bit about how I've used the 166XL and what I think of a few of the features. I think it's really easy to use and to set it up quickly. Everything operates very smoothly. The knobs have a very nice feel to them. There is a rubbery feel on the outside of each knob. The way they're set up and turned, they have slight detents, but a very smooth and very well made, very strong feel to each of the knobs. Lights are really easy to read at a glance. You don't have to spend much time looking at them when you're setting it up, and you can see pretty quickly what's happening. So you can set up your input and output levels and the gain reduction pretty quickly. Gating lights also operate very smoothly, just making it a joy to work with. I've used this in a number of different applications. I mentioned earlier about doing live sound with it. I've used it as an insert compressor on different channels and even subgroups, like compressing the whole drum mix or perhaps all the vocals in a mix through a subgroup insert. I've used it as a main compressor for a stereo mix, running the whole signal through it, and performed very, very well. Allowed me to get full benefit of the speaker system that I was using and squeak out several more dB of level and get a nice, tight, fat sound with it. So anyone who uses this device would certainly enjoy it. One of the great things that they also provide with this is the manual. And the manual has a number of different sections in it that give you some tips on using different portions of this compressor limiter in a number of different ways that would be really good to read into and find out the best ways to apply it to your particular application. So if you have any questions about the dbx 166XL, you can contact us on the web at www.frontendaudio.com.